Alright, welcome to Just Magic the Gathering. I was, at a certain point, just looking to knock out a little bit of my daily grind with red or green spells. I was questioning the legitimacy of, in a way, doing some standard games for achievements for like 7 more standard games. I can get the nice deck. I was trying to figure out even where that would be. Probably under milestones. Play 5,000 games, limited. Formats? So here it is, what I was looking for. Nice deck, the Fraser emote. I can get for like 12 more standard games. I normally don't play standard games, but I also wouldn't mind having the nice deck emote. So with that, I think I am going to try and play a standard game. The one thing I was looking at doing potentially is showcasing my Mobilize deck. My Mobilize deck needs a little bit of work. At one point, this thing got me into mythic, and then it really started to struggle. It is a red-white Mobilize. I have my Authority of Councils to help shut down things with haste, my Voice of Victories, which means they can't play things on my turn. The Shock Brigade has Menace and Mobilize 1, and I'm heavy on things that mobilize. The Shocking Sharpshooter works with my Mobilize because whenever a creature I control enters, it deals 1 damage. And that works well, and the reason that I haven't rolled this up to Alchemy is, or rolled it down to standard, is because the War Leader's Call is only standard legal. But basically, creatures you control get +1/+1, and whenever a creature you control enters, this enchantment deals 1 damage to each opponent. So when I bring things in, I can start pinging them for damage. I have the Dalcoven Pack Beasts, which come in with Vigilance and Mobilize 3. As far as control, I really only have my snares. I have 2 Precious Perilous Snares and 3 Static Snares. So this deck is very weak on control and where it falls apart in some ways. I have my Enduring Innocences for card draw, and the Patchwork Banner is mana ramp, plus it gets me +1/+1 on creatures of my chosen type, so it works really well. Enduring Courage, in some ways, is what makes this deck. If it hits the board and they can't deal with it, it's almost a game changer. Because all my tokens that mobilize in come in with an additional +2/+0. And they have to void it, otherwise it turns into an enchantment and they have to kill it twice. Ogier is one of the gods, and he is pretty nice, or he works well with this deck. If a red source you control would deal an amount of non-combat damage less than Ogier's power to an opponent, that source deals that much damage. Source deals damage equal to Ogier's power instead. So my Shocking Sharpshooters, instead of doing 1 damage per ping, start doing 4 damage per ping. And it adds up pretty quickly. And then I, at one point, got this guy. He works well with my Ox. And he works as card draw. And I don't know. He's worked really well for me in the deck before, but as a candidate to pull out. But basically, my Oxen have double strike. Whenever he enters or attacks, he can exile the top card of my library. If it's a land card, I get an Ox out of it. Otherwise, I can play it until the end of my turn. Or the end of my next turn. I covered the Perilous Snares. These seem expensive, but normally when I'm mobilizing in, they become cheap to cast. and then the Painter Studio. This works both as an aggression and a card draw. It's only a one-time card draw, but it's really the supplemental card draw and the aggression that I really like about it. As far as lands, I do have two of the Dalkovan encampments. Mobilizes and getting things to mobilize additionally helps sometimes. And the Quarry Monastery allows me to go for card draw. With that, I have 4 plains, 4 mountains, and the deserts. The deserts I run in this kind of give me an interesting mana ramp, where I can spend my mana, and it deals you damage, and then I can return it, and it allows me to surveil one. Plus, I get my mana back. I don't know. It works well most of the time. It can bite me if I end up with too much colorless mana. But I haven't really played much for my Mobilize deck. It at one point really started struggling, and I was wondering what I can do to improve its like control, or in some ways I guess it's protect, because if it is acceptable to a death heavy deck, it is acceptable to a control heavy deck. Every deck kind of has its weaknesses, and this is a rush deck, almost just like my green deck. I'm actually going to keep it just because on 3 I can get my banner out, and I might get into mana beforehand, but that's all the mana I basically need. I like his art. I would have rather had a plains and a mountain, but they're taking their sweet time. Cloud Shift. Looks like they're a little further along in Platinum than I am. And I'm going to start with my Monastery just because it's going to come in tapped. The Dalkovan Pact, or the Voice of Victory, will prevent him from potentially playing kill cards on his turn. The Siphoner. At this point, I am going to basically just push. And depending on what he plays this time around, so if I play the Patchwork Banner, I can still also play the Sharpshooter. I don't have any warriors in this deck, so I have to type it in. And this is going to hit hard and heavy. So the Sharpshooter is going to do its job. 3 more times. And 3 to 19 almost right off the bat. I don't think he has anything to get around that. Bye-bye cards. Oh. Probably shouldn't do it, but that's just even more mean. Because that would have made them all come in as like 4/2s. I mean, it gets pretty ridiculous pretty fast. So I'm glad it got a quick win on its showcase. And my first win for the day. And I'll just give it another quick try or whirl. Back to it is a rush deck, or it doesn't win by round 5. It's probably not going to win. And that's one thing I used to actually maybe be a little bit better about, is just push and fail. At this point, I basically have to mulligan it. Technically, I could play my Dalkovan encampment, return it to get my Arid Archway out, to have my Dalkovan encampment come out. Just play both my banners. No, to Pack Beast followed by my banner. I don't know, I guess I could work with it. I was hoping for any mana in the next, like, 2 rounds. Resentful Revelation. So here, I am going to actually play the Arid Archway, return my encampment. And now I need to discard. Boo. I basically need that white. That was silly of me. The Fabled Passage. You can go searching for land. Another Resentful Revelation. Okay. And I need to do this one to get my Pack Beast out. But next round I can actually do my Enduring Courage, which is where I want to be. A 10/20 that he just pulled right out of his graveyard. So for 4, he was able to do that. And what is the ward on it? A ward of 3. This probably isn't going to end well for me. I still have my Mobilize coming in. I have 3 Pack Beasts. So, one more round of that, unfortunately. I mean, he's going to hit me for 8. I don't think I can actually get my way out of this. Oh, yeah. And that's game. And I didn't even quite catch how he pulled that out of his graveyard, or... yeah. A bit of a boo. But with that being said, I'll probably just call it. Got my 1 win in, and... yeah. 2 of my 12 standard games, and I'm just going to call that good. So with that, though, I look forward to playing some Magic in the future.